Good evening, everyone, and welcome to NMP Talk Show. We're happy to have you over this evening for our beautiful show. We have a fully packed show today, and we want to welcome everyone that's connected on Telegram. We have connected on Riverside and also TikTok. And then later on, our show, as it's been recorded, will be uploaded on YouTube, and our channel on YouTube is Get Informed too. So this is where you'll be able to catch the recording of this show. And this evening, like usual, I'm not by myself. I'm with my co-host, Figile. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for welcoming me now. Look, I'm used to the tables turning around. Today they turned. Hey. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. And thank you very much, Noah, for hosting us as well today. Today we're talking about no, let me not say it. Tell us, what are we talking
Yeah.
about?
As you may have seen, we've advertised with a catchy note that you are not alone. You know, a lot of times when you're going through life and things are heavy on you, you get the sense that you might be alone. No one is there for you. No one can help you. But with this show, we want to reassure you that you are not alone. And for that reason, we have a special guest that is joining us. She's a social worker, Ausgemi. Ausgemi is going to help us go navigate through these challenges of life that we have. I mean, we're going through depression, some are suicidal, some are grieving because of the loss of their loved ones. And we also have gender violence, which is that one is really painful. So Oshem is going to lead us on this, explain how we can identify all these sources and what we can do. She will refer us to where we need to go. Oshem, welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself. Okay, let me unmute you. Um,
Yeah.
okay, now you can talk. Sorry.
Good evening, Neo and Fikile, and good evening to the listeners out there at home. My name is Femi Malau. I'm a social worker focusing mainly on issues of mental health. That obviously, as Neo has indicated, covers depression, trauma, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, suicidal issues pre and post, issues of gender based violence, and family and relationships in general. So today I'll be talking mostly about those issues. And thank you for inviting me.
Welcome,
Thank you for
Austin.
honoring our invitation. Really, anything you want to add before we jump into the topic?
Who, me or Ausremi?
You, Figile.
Oh no, no, no. I know that I tend to say a lot. Today I will allow Ausrami to take us through because these are issues that affect, if not all of us, but most of us. And these are serious issues. We find it difficult to deal with them, or we don't know how to deal with them. So let us
Yeah,
welcome Ausrami to share with us and give us the guidance that we need.
for sure. We already have a question from our listeners.
Mhm.
Let's hear what they say. Hilda, welcome to the show. Did you want to share something there?
It's actually not a question, but I would like our guest today to maybe touch on bullying at work
On
because that also can turn into depression.
Bullying at
bullying.
work.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm.
Hopefully it will.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, and because we've had a lot of people, asking about the bullying. We had a show previously about bullying.
Mm-hmm.
We touched a little bit about workplace bullying. We dealt a lot on children and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with a professional in our midst, we'll be able to delve into it if there is time for that.
Yeah.
But since she's already, put it out there, maybe we can start with that. What do you think, Sis Remy?
I think the issue of bullying at work, or bullying generally, is one of the most distressing issues in our society.
Mhm.
But in particular, the one here, bullying at work, that may lead to depression. The
Mhm.
issue is that bullying at work a lot of times happen because of power dynamics.
Mhm.
You get bullied by your superior, you get bullied by your managers, your bosses, because they've got power over you, in the sense that they have employed you, they pay your salary. So even if what you are requesting them to do on your behalf, either one way or the other, you find that instead of them helping you navigate the issue that you're dealing with, they will bully you, knowing very well that they've got power over you. So that can lead to a lot of depression to employees at work. And obviously you can't talk to your superiors about that, because they are now the perpetrators in the situation.
Mhm.
So it is definitely leading to depression, to stress. But as we are always saying, and as at the beginning of the show, it is said that you are not alone.
Mhm.
You can't deal with this alone. You need to get help. You need to get professional help, so that professional people like social workers, psychologists, psychiatrists can help you out there. So let's discuss and then see how we can help each other in this process, because I believe the show is all about that, how we can actually help you not to be alone, because you cannot do it alone.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
I know. I'm not trying to get into your files, your patient files, but do you get a lot of patients coming reporting this pandemic, bullying at work? I know I've experienced it, but I've never spoken to anyone about it.
Not necessarily bullying per se, but other dynamics at work. As I've mentioned, the power relations, where you are expected to do certain things as an employee. If you don't do them, then you're going to be bullied, you're going to be pulled from one direction to the other. And then over time, you feel like you cannot fight anymore, because you're fighting probably powerful people at work. So you end up really getting into that space of depression, which, if unattended to over a period of time, it can lead to some dangerous situations that we'll talk about at a later stage. But bullying is definitely an abuse, and it needs to be dealt with.
And it is nice
Indeed.
that Meremi, you touched on that one, because you know, when you are being bullied at work, other than the tin that it takes, maybe you find that people fought with one another, whether at work, in the office, or out of the office, and they end up killing each other just because of something that happened at work. It's something that is never spoken about as to what was the cause. We're looking at the results, and we forget to look at the cause, to say what was the relationship between these two when they were still at work. And you find that a person who has been bullied at work is an animal when they get home, because they take the power that was taken away from them when they were at work, and they want to show people that are at home that I still have that power. But the cause of all this is that it came from the workplace and being bullied. Please share with us, if I am Fikile and I'm being bullied at work or at home, how to deal with such.
It's quite difficult for many people, because if you are being bullied by somebody, the first thing is that that person tells himself or herself that he's stronger than you,
Mhm.
mentally and physically, because bullying can also lead to physical attack. But it starts emotionally, where somebody tells itself, I'm better than you, I'm stronger than you, I can actually overpower you. Therefore, that kind of thought leads to an action called bullying.
Mhm.
So the bullying becomes the end result, the outcome of actually what a person is thinking, his thoughts about you, that you're probably even inferior, that you have got no power that he has. So how you deal with it is that although it's very difficult, but you need to build a sense of self strength in you, which is difficult for many people. Because if you don't have inner strength in you, you're going to be very weak, you're going to be very vulnerable. That's why people may take advantage of you and bullying you at work. But a lot of times when people know that you're able to stand for yourself, you know your rights, you know who you are, and especially at a workplace, you understand your rights as an employee. What are the things that can be done to you? What are the things that can be done to you? You are able to stand for yourself. You find that bullies, even bullies at school, at primary or high school, it becomes the same principle where the other person thinks he's more dominant, he's more stronger than you. But when they realize that you stand for yourself, you fight this battle of being bullied, and you will not tolerate anybody bullying you, they begin to sort of respect you. They begin to say, let's move away from this person because he's willing to stand for himself or herself. Unfortunately, it's not many people who are able to do that. And so
Mm.
the person who goes through that need tools that can enable him or her to confront the bully, the person who's bullying the other. And that becomes a process that we're able to empower you as counselors in terms of how do you approach the bullying person, and how can you actually confront without you yourself resorting to physical abuse or physical intimidation to that person. But it needs a process. It needs a process where we can empower you with tools to be able to fight for yourself.
Yeah. So I always have a feeling that somebody who's a bully, wherever the space they at, whether at schools, at workplace, anywhere, where they're coming from, they they don't have power, and that's what they want to assert power when they're with other people. But back home, they're the ones who are being bullied, uh, or they don't have anything to say. They don't have power over the people that they live with. Is that a correct perception that I have about these bullies?
You're absolutely on point, Neo. It's a lot of people's actions start from home, because that's
Mm,
where we are taught principles, that's where we are taught values, that's where we are grounded as people. So what we experience at home, we tend to take it out there into society, into the
mm,
workplace, even into our relationships. So you're absolutely correct. A bully normally at home, she or he doesn't have power, but a bully could be portraying his tendencies because of his childhood. You may find that it's somebody who grew up under very difficult circumstances, probably not even having parents, raised by extended families, and she or he lost something during that childhood. So he
mm,
may have lost some love, he may have lost some nurturing. So people of that nature, they grow up feeling very angry. They grow up feeling that there's something missing in their lives. And so when they go out to society one day, they take it out to other people at work, in social circles, in families, and then they can be bullies, or they can even treat other people very badly, especially in relationships, a relationship between a man and a woman, or a wife and a husband, where you find that a man treats his wife badly, but when you trace his background and his childhood, you find that there was something missing in his life. He didn't grow up very well like all the other, nurtured families or people. So he ends up taking out all those things that he missed in his life over to his wife or to his partner or to his girlfriend, etc. And because he himself inside, he is battling with what he didn't have. And then there's a hole, there's an emptiness in him. So because of that, he wants to fill that emptiness by doing those bad things to somebody else. And so, in actual fact, the people who are bullies, the people who are treating others bad, they themselves need help more than the people who are actually their victims, even though both of them, they need help. But the perpetrator of the bullying, of the abuse, even men who abuse women, as we also talk about gender-based violence, those are the people that themselves need help. And that's exactly how you identify them.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
Alschami, you mentioned something here, but for the viewers as well, we always have this conception that people who bullies more are males. Let us just make it clear that it's not only males who do it. I, as a female, if I had that bad background, I can be a bully. I can be mistreating to others just because I want to fill that void that is in my heart as well, like you have mentioned about the male bullies.
Yeah. So we
Absolutely.
still have, yeah, we still have a follow-up question, I think, Hilda. Do you wanna go ahead, or is your answer or your question answered?
Now, I wanted to find out, can you share something now or after? Can we
Share.
share our experiences now, or are we
Okay.
going to wait until the speakers finish, then we share?
No, I think we can. You can go ahead and share an experience.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, this topic is very, very close to my heart because I experienced bullying in work to the
Mm.
point where I actually had a hit list. Every time when I was thinking, I would think of how I'm going to kill these people.
Sure.
And this thing ended up killing me inside. And I was
Mm.
admitted for a month in hospital.
Mm.
Mm,
And the speaker mentioned something about if somebody is bullied at work, when they come home, they want to show their power, that they still have power. However, with me, when I came back home, every time I was so, so distraught. And I ended up having anxieties. The anxiety where you are even afraid of checking your emails. You're not sure what you're going to get there.
Mm.
mhm, mhm,
And as we speak, I'm on depression medication. However, I have healed a little bit because now I know how to handle all this. Now I have the power to
Mm.
confront the bullies.
mhm.
And I
Mm.
don't wait for next week or tomorrow. I confront the situation there and there. Because honestly speaking, I was a very dark space where I felt like, to the point where I knew the number plates. I knew if I want to shoot this one. And one day I was like, if I can get a gun, if this guy calls me to his office, I'm going to shoot him and I will not run away. That's how bad bullying is at work. However,
Mm.
I have learned from that and now I can handle it better. Thank you.
Thanks for your experience, Hilda. And yeah, what you've gone through is really terrible, and we really feel for you. And one thing that I want to highlight from what you just said, that you are able to handle it now, which is something that's very
Mhm.
important. If you are not there where you can have the sense of handling a matter, then that's scary. But what is allaying our feelings now, is that you are able to handle it. And thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
thank you for
Ms.
sharing. I
Remy,
didn't
do
get
you
her
have
name,
anything to say?
but I just wanted. There's something I would like to ask. If she's open to answer, she can do so. But if she feels like I'm too personal, she's welcome to hold back on that one. To say, did you get any professional help? For you to be able to deal with the situation, to be able to deal with the bullies, or to stand up for yourself.
Yes, I did get professional help. I've been seeing a psychologist as well as a psychiatrist, and I must say they assisted me very, very well.
Wow, great.
And when you're depressed, man, you end up feeling so useless.
Mhm, mhm,
Mm.
And what I've also noticed is that the bully will want to make you useless.
Mhm.
And once they achieve that, they are done with you.
Mm,
So the professional help that I received, they actually showed me that I do better and I'm clever.
Mhm.
And go back there and show them that you are clever.
Wow.
mm,
That's
Thank
wonderful.
you.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing your experience with us and to confirm to us that professional help actually works, because most of the time we don't feel like telling somebody what I'm going through is going to help in any way. So now
yes.
we know because of your experience, you went through it, and unfortunately you are not the one who was suicidal. You just wanted to actually revenge for yourself, and you managed to hold back on that through professional help, and being assisted, and you are here today, and nobody is dead because of you wanting to revenge, eh?
Yeah.
Great, thank you,
At one
appreciate
point, I
it.
was suicidal, but I was like, I'm not going to kill myself. I'm going to kill this ones that are bullying me.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Sis
wonderful.
Femi, any professional input there for us?
I just want to say I'm actually very glad that the caller is that Helda.
Yeah.
Yes, that she managed to get out of that situation, and big up to her because she realized he had a problem. It's scary the kind of things that she's just sharing with us, that she was planning to kill somebody. Can you imagine what depression can do to you? It can
Mm,
either say you are going to kill somebody, or actually you may even kill yourself and commit suicide. So the fact that she managed to go and seek professional help from somebody, she realized that she couldn't do it alone. She just could not do it alone. So she needed somebody to come into her space objectively and be able to help her how she can actually deal with this and empower herself with the ability to confront the bully, who eventually now she's able to deal and defend herself from that bully. So I'm actually very glad that she managed to get help, because I was also going to ask the same question: how did you finally manage to deal with this? So she got some professional help.
all right. We also have another experience from Konkosi. Konkosi, let me allow you to speak there. You can unmute yourself if you're ready to share, and we can have Sis Remy giving her input.
Um, okay. Well, for me, it's a lot. A lot. Can you guys hear me?
We can,
Yeah,
but
we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Can I continue?
Yes, please.
All right. Okay. Hey, you Figile, keep disturbing me. All right. So when I grew up as a very, very healthy child, and I was very, very healthy mentally, but then there a lot of traumas that happened in life. So when I was growing up, I'm sure, I mean, a lot of people don't know, even Fia don't know. So just doing her a favor by telling her today. So I was sexually abused, slash molested, slash raped, and
You.
then when I was young by a family member, and then when I grew up, and then yeah, my mom got sick, and it was so traumatizing for me to see her sick. She ended up dying, unfortunately, and then my dad got, I mean, he went missing in 2018, and we were very, very close. So his disappearance actually is the one that brought everything that happened in my life. My mind before 2018, my mind was able to block all those traumas. Like I didn't even remember them. But then 2018, I was like, oh wow, so this happened. Oh yeah, I now remember. So this happened to me. So then I then developed a major depressive disorder, and then it went to borderline personality disorder with psychosis, and then I also have PTSD. So yes, I have attempted suicide, of course, and I did not succeed. I had a lot of suicide thoughts, and there was a day I wanted to just disappear, and I left my.
Looks like we've lost
Have we
her
lost her?
right there.
Yeah.
Sure, that was a mouthful.
Mm,
But
I was with my
while
family.
we are waiting for her
Everybody
to
wanted because I think
reconnect,
reach out to me because my own sort of like paying notice and telling people I went they see me I came back around 7. So I've been dealing with my mental disorders. Hey, where did you lose me?
no, you can continue, Konkos.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I have been admitted in psycho because I was going crazy, and I'm still going for therapy. Even though I do have triggers and I do experience episodes, but I wouldn't say my mental disorders are stable, but these are not the same. They're way better than they were in 2018, in 2019, also last year. So it keeps on getting better. The pain won't go away. I've learned to accept it, and I won't heal. But at least I can cope as long as I'm breathing today and breathing tomorrow.
Mm.
So that's
Konkosi, we really sympathize with you. What you've gone through, yeah, I don't know what to even say.
I'm
I
actually
think this is
stunned.
family.
I'm not a person who usually get be like I cannot be out of words even if the situation is tough.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
actually
That's why we have a
sympathizing
professional in our midst.
with Kongosi. But one thing I like is that she still views life positively. I think
Mm,
that's a
mm,
big thing out of everything that she
mm,
went through. She still views life
mm,
positively, and she is happy to be alive. What is it that you can
mm,
say there's somebody who went through the similar situations? Because like she said, she never told me. I didn't know that. I know that she
mm,
suffers from depression, but whether she's
mm,
got triggers and how to assist as a family member. How do I interact with her to show her that I
mm,
am available to give her that support, other than only showing her as well to actually provide that support? What kind of support can
mm.
I give somebody who goes through such in life, Afshemi?
yeah.
I think one of the things that we also need to take into account is that we need to observe the signs that a person who's going through depression experience. And I just want to share some of them. Is that, for example, once you start seeing somebody spending a lot of time being isolated. Normally, she's the kind of a person who interact with people, always around people, but all of a sudden you find that person, he's very withdrawn. He isolates himself or herself. He eats either less or eat more. He doesn't trust people, and then he will tell you, or he or she will tell you, I tend to hear voices speaking to me. And then she will have thoughts that tells her to do things that are very harmful to that person. Now, if you are a family member and you're probably living with that person, or you are even a close relative, if you observe those kind of things, or if you observe that my cousin or my relative is going through depression, and I can see one, two, three happening to him or her, the first thing you need to do is to talk about that problem with that person. Don't hide it. Don't run away from it. Don't say, hey, I don't want to bother that person because he will think that I'm intruding his or her space. Just go and talk politely to that person and say, I am aware, I'm observing one, two, three happening in you, and this is unlike you. I'm a bit worried. I'm very concerned about you. How can I help you? Because a lot of times they won't open up to you. When people are very depressed, they want to live in their little cocoon where they can go through all those motions, which is actually not helping. But unfortunately, that's what they want to do. They want to be in their own space by themselves. That's why I say they tend to isolate, they tend to withdraw themselves from society, from family, from everyone else. So your job is to actually say, I observe one, two, three happening in you, and I'm a little bit concerned. I want to help you. How can I help you? Sometimes they will dismiss you and say, you're seeing things, there's no such, I'm okay, I'm fine. But you actually see that this person is going through something. And then if they don't want to engage you, they don't want to allow you to come into their space, it is your responsibility to make up a call. And then, especially if you have picked up signs of suicidal plans in that person, pick up a call, sorry, without telling that person. Call somebody who can help, a professional person, or even called suicidal organizations that provide counseling in relation to that, so that they can then intervene even when the person doesn't know, because we can't leave some of these things to them to actually deal with them, because by the time they do or we come and deal with it, it will be too late. So it's really your responsibility to say, first, talk to the person, engage him or her. Only if he dismisses you, it's your call, it's your duty to make up a call and then report or seek help wherever you are able to get that information, so that there can be an intervention in that person's life before it becomes too late. And sometimes it may not even lead to suicide, but it may lead to some dangerous things, people where they harm themselves, people where they can actually, like we have heard with one of our listeners, when they plan something bad to other people. So it's really your duty to do something about it.
I've got a twofold question.
Okay.
Um, the first one, if I take it by myself to report the matter, um, how will now the professional interact with the person that they're not willing to go out and seek help? And the
Mm,
second question is to Konkosi. Maybe this you can answer now before us Remy answer the first one. Did somebody motivate you to go seek for help, or did you decide on your own to seek assistance?
For me, I just decided to seek help because I'm a very bubbly person. I'm an extrovert. So I started seeing signs, like I was like, I think I'm depressed.
Mm,
So I asked my uncle, because he's a psychologist. I was like, "Can you please tell me which antidepressants can I take?" And he was like, "No, you have to see a psychiatrist first." So that's when I started my journey, seeing the psychiatrist and then the psychologist, and ended up taking pills to help me cope.
mm.
well, we're happy that you took the first step there. Very, very
Absolutely.
motivating and
Very, very,
encouraging
very
to
much.
us.
Before Auschemi answers your question now, I just wanted to ask, to add on what she was saying. As I'm always looking at me as to how do I get to give assistance to the next person, because it has to start
Mm,
with me for it to go around.
mm,
So
Mm,
as human beings, it's difficult to I can't I don't even know how to put it, but I know that it's difficult for me to look at a person who is different now from what they were before, or I can see
mm,
certain things that they are doing to say, oh no, they were not actually isolating previously, but now they tend to isolate. But I can't have the courage to approach that person because maybe we don't have that relationship. And to add on that, we've got family members. Some family members are complaining or mentioning the beds on this person who is depressed. We don't know how to see a depressed person. because we're not actually equipped to do so. And then we tend to judge their actions other than finding out as to whether we can help or not. So what is it that you can give me as Figile an advice, not anybody out there? I mean, I hope that somebody out there can learn as well from what you were at to share.
Zachary?
You're talking to me,
I
Fikile.
was.
Okay, okay. Great. I think as I've mentioned earlier on, there are a couple of things you'll observe in a person who is really going through depression. Like I've mentioned, one of the things is that they withdraw. These people, they are no longer part of the family. Let's say in a family, they're always, if it's a young person, for example, they're always in their bedroom. So they come home, they take their food, and then they get to their bedroom and they stay there. And then they come out the following day, and then the routine continues. Then, if you're a parent or you're a relative, you need to be very concerned that this is not a normal behavior. Why will this child, always isolate himself or herself? Let's say, for example, he's a talkative child or a talkative adult. All of a sudden, he's very quiet. He doesn't converse. He doesn't engage. He looks very sad most of the time. Some of them, they're always sleeping. They're no longer active in life where, they go out and be about, but they're always sleeping. They're withdrawn. It means something is eating them. There's something that is going on in their mind, in their emotional being, and therefore they act it out by the behavior that they are portraying, which is being this, very strange character. You will just see a very strange character in that person that you know. So that's how you realize, but this person, there's something that is not okay. And then I therefore have to intervene. I have to talk about it. I have to engage this person. Now, as well, the caller earlier on asked and say, no, it's you, Fikile, who ask and say, what if now I then go and find professional help when my relative actually was not interested or doesn't want to talk about it? Will he or she listen to the professional person? The reality is that, in families, it's very difficult. In African proverb, they say, "Engaka ha e taole," meaning or a doctor cannot heal uh, himself or his own family. So a lot of times in families, we don't trust and believe that another family member can help me because already she will be subjective when she come into that problem. It's my cousin, it's my uncle, it's my mamngani or my auntie, or also they will be knowing my problems, which I don't want them to know about them. They will be going around telling it to so and so. So a professional person seems like a very a distant person. He probably doesn't even know all of you. She just come with one objective to help this person, and she comes or he comes from an outside perspective, being objective with only one mind of helping the person. Whereas family members can be clouded with a lot of things, family dynamics, and then they go and talk about you and share this and that, and your issues are no longer confidential, your issues are no longer private, they are no longer secret because now your aunt knows about them, your uncle knows about them. That's why the professional way, it's usually the best way because it's going to be between that person and the professional person, and it's confidential, it's secret, it ends there unless that person says, I want to share it with so and so. So you're going to get a lot of resistance ausfigile from those people because they're in their own shell. They're going through something very difficult, something very sensitive for that matter. So it's not going to be an easy thing to penetrate into them. But if you fail, you need to find professional help for them.
Wow. Thank you
So
very
we
much.
have a comment.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you for that. We have a comment from Bafana. You can unmute yourself, Bafana. You can click the same button that you raised the hand. There you go.
Hi, hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi,
do you
welcome.
mind speaking out up loud? Yeah,
Ah,
you're very soft.
very soft. Oh, okay. Can you hear
There
me
you
now?
go.
Now we can
Yes.
hear you. Thanks.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Um, Firstly, thank you so much with all the points that you have raised. The guest speaker, very helpful. And I was also sort of like
I don't know. Can you still raise your voice, or just have your device very
Mm.
close to your mouth?
yes, it's close to me. Am I still soft?
Yeah, but we
Okay,
can
I'm
we
gonna
can
try.
we can work with that. Yeah.
Okay, I was saying, thank you so much for the points that you raised. Points from the guest speaker, they're very helpful. Um, I was thinking also as you are talking, one of the things that I have found very helpful on my side, um, coming to mental illnesses, mental health, because nowadays almost if it's not you, it's at least someone that you know who is struggling or
Mm.
who's having mental issues.
Mm.
So specifically was asking more onto how to assist, how can one assist on that. um I have also found that one thing that we as family members or relatives or friends that we can do to assist, take some time and learn or teach ourselves about these mental illness. I found that there's a lot of gap in terms of knowledge or information. Like people are not learned when it comes to these mental
Mm.
illnesses as to depression. What is depression? If someone has
Mm.
depression, what is exactly that are they experiencing? Because,
Mm.
for example, with depression, it's more than just being sad. A lot of people, when you say you've got depression, they think you're just sad
Mm.
or you're down. It is more than that. If you have anxiety, people think that you are maybe always overthinking or you're just worried, but it's more
Mm.
than that. So because of not having that knowledge, they don't know how to assist or leg or
Mm.
yeah, they don't know how to assist. But one thing that I have found is to learn, like read books that talk about or discuss depression, read books that discusses anxiety so that you can get like an idea as to what is this person is exactly going through, you know. For
Mm.
example, I read this book by Oprah, which she wrote with psychologist, which says what happened. So it really helped me to understand that when somebody has depression, we normally say what's wrong with them, but the question should be what happened, why are they like this, because the
Mm.
person
Mm.
cannot just be like this, something really happened. So such books, they help you to have a more understanding, and then you are
Mm.
able to be better with those person because you trying to understand them. Why are they saying this? Why are they doing this? So yeah, that's what I wanted to share from my side.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much
Thank you. We appreciate that.
for that.
Um,
Um,
again,
before yeah,
sorry, sorry,
I think
Lebo.
let's give me a chance to comment on that,
Okay,
and we
cool.
still have another one to in the audience to speak.
Thanks, Neo. I just wanted to comment on what the caller has said. Depression is it's an emotional stage of your mental health. And depression happens to everyone. It does not have specific people that it attacks. For example, you may get depressed because you lost your loved one through death. And we know death happens to every family. So at some stage, each person is gonna experience depression. So depression is not necessarily for certain people, or it's for certain class level where it's only the poor or the working class who experience depression. Even rich people experience depression with all the money that they have. It's not even a gender issue. Men and women experience depression because people go through difficulties of life, challenges of life. Like earlier on, I mentioned, you could be depressed because you lost your job. You could be depressed because you were retrenched and you are not able to get a job over a period of time. That over time, it will lead to depression. You may be depressed because you're going through a very difficult divorce that is not even civil. So it may be trauma that you experienced whilst you were young, and then you are growing up with that, and even if you get better over time, but some things just never leaves you. So depression, it does affect everyone. The secret is to be able to deal with it. The secret is to be able to manage it, to know when you are depressed and to see the signs and then say, I need to deal with it. If you can deal with it yourself, that will be fine. But a lot of times we know, because once you're depressed, you're weak, you feel helpless, you feel hopeless, you feel like things will never change, they're going to stay the same. And then over time, the depression, if it's unattended to, as we know, it may lead to very, very serious issues. So I will say, once you establish the signs and the warnings earlier, if it's you, do something about it. If you can't, you are not alone. You cannot do it alone. Find help. If you're observing it from somebody else, your relative, your friend, do something. Talk to that person or find help for that person. It is very important that we deal with these issues.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Hilda, you had a point there. Do you still want to comment?
No, this one's a question. I want to find out. Like I'm living with depression. Will there ever be a time where I heal completely? Tell you why. Sometimes I feel that I healed completely because when this started, I really isolated myself from work functions, colleagues, and
Mm,
everything. And even now, I enjoy my space. I feel happy alone. I,
mm,
I, I I've lost trust in people. I get
mm,
annoyed by people. So I
mm,
cannot hold people for the whole day.
mm,
1 hour, 2 hours, please leave. Leave me alone. I just need my space. Doesn't mean
mm.
I still have this depression.
Yeah. Um, can I respond now, Figile?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
I think CC is probably going through what we call persistent depression. It's a depression that is just ongoing, ongoing. It's going on and on. I don't know whether she's on any treatment, medical treatment or so, if I may ask.
Yeah, I'm taking Psyche 200, Ritomil, and other tablets.
Okay. So basically you're on medical treatment, and but on the social well-being side of it, you are managing well, because you are saying now you are actually comfortable with isolating yourself from people. But if I may be honest, that is actually not a good thing. That is not normal, because human beings are made to be with others. They are made to interact with others. They are made to be social beings rather than just, I don't know, maybe animals are able to just stay on their own, but human beings are made to interact with others. So I think you're going through a persistent a sense of depression, and then maybe you have comforted yourself, or it's okay, I'm fine with it, I'm comfortable, but deep down there is something that needs to be dealt with, so that you get out of that space of isolating yourself. You can't isolate yourself forever, because you are a human being, you are a social being, you need to be part of you don't have to be with many many people, because we are also built born differently. There are extroverts, there are introverts, there are people who just love their space and they just want to be alone, but not necessarily because they are depressed. But if you are depressed and then you are isolating, that it is a problem, because the isolation, if it continues, we don't know when you're sitting alone isolating, what are you thinking? Are you thinking good thoughts? Are you planning something that may be dangerous to yourself or to the next person? So that isolation over time is not a good thing. It's definitely not a good thing. So I will say maybe work on that. If you can't, seek somebody to help you to get out of that shell, that cocoon that you have put yourself into.
And you know what's the funny part? I was a very, very bubbly person. At
Mm,
weddings, I'm the one who's dancing, I'm the one who's ululating, I'll do all sorts of things. But now
mm,
I've lost so much trust in people.
mm,
When I
mm,
wake up in the morning, I wish it was already knock off and I'm back in my bed.
Mm,
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 mm, mm.
That's how far it has gone. So when I'm with my family, my kids, my husband, I'm okay. Not the next person outside. I
mm,
feel they betray me. I feel they come to my house, check on things. I just not comfortable with anybody now externally.
mm.
Mm.
We do have cries, we do have all funny moments, but only with my kids and my husband.
Yeah, you are withdrawn, sis. You are withdrawn, and it's not healthy. But I think over time, just deal with it. Just get some help because you need to deal with it. It definitely needs some corrective measures because it's not healthy. Do you feel okay when you are isolated? Do you feel happy?
Very happy. I'll play my music alone, dance alone.
Ah,
Sometimes when my kids are not here, I'll video call them, tell them I'm dancing. But the next morning, I'll be so withdrawn.
hmm, hmm.
Yesterday or last night, I was extremely happy.
Okay. I think you also go through sorry, mood swings. You go through the moods that goes up and down. Tomorrow you are here, today you are here. So there is a little bit of imbalance that is going on around you. And the good thing is that you're on medication as well, because that will also help you to balance, to have that equilibrium. Because mental health and depression, it's all about your mind, your social well-being, and your body. They must all balance all the time. So when there's a breakdown of one of those things, then you experience an imbalance that then part of it, as a social being, as I said, you begin to withdraw from people, which means that part of your life, it's a little bit vulnerable. However, let's hope with time you will come back to
Yeah.
society and come back to the people.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you
Hilda, for
so much.
sharing
Thank
that.
you so much. Thank you.
You know,
Kongosi,
Ausremi,
I see you're raising
are you saying something now?
Yes, Fikile? Yes.
uh, I was saying Kongosi has raised their hand as well.
Okay, let's give her the platform.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to mention on the part of family support. It's very, very important. And even though we don't talk with Ile every day, but I know that, like, even if I can say, look here, I want to talk to you right now, I know that you will be there. And when my dad disappeared, I remember, I think the first few days she was there, and the other following months, and she was like, how can I help you? She offered help. Okay, maybe I can ask a lawyer to help you with this what situation.
Mm,
So she really did help. So also, even now, my family, I live with my maternal granny and my youngest brother. Well, they do support me. They understand my disorder, so
mm,
they know that, okay, even if I do this, I don't mean it, and I'll be fine. And when my granny doesn't even trust me, she sleeps with the keys so that I won't go outside and just disappear. So
mm,
it does help. Family support is very, very important. Even though I'm taking a lot of pills, I think I'm taking 15 now, but it does help. And I've also experience hallucinations. That's why I'm taking is it psychotic, antipsychotic, yeah, whatever pills to help. So now the hallucinations, they are way better, because I used to hear a child crying in my right ear. So it did help that a lot. And I was paranoid. I was thinking that everyone wanted to kill me. Now I'm way better. I remember my brother and I had a misunderstanding, and I just cried. And he was like, "Dude, why are you crying?" I'm like, "Because you want to stab me. You're going to stab me." And he was like, "No, stop crying. You're gonna make me cry." And I used to think that people, they will just like stand outside my window and just shoot at me. Remember this other time I used to sleep like on the floor, not in the bed, so that if they like standing outside and shooting on the window, I won't get shot. But now I'm way better. Therapy is the best. It's just the best. It helps a lot.
Kongosi,
Wow.
from what you are saying, I can tell that you love life, and
Yeah.
whatever you are doing, you wanted to secure, uh, um, to make sure that you don't lose this precious gift from God, and keep on doing that. Keep on loving life, because if you start
Thank you.
loving life, you start seeing possibilities. And some of the possibilities that you've just highlighted now is family support. And family support is very important. And that's why families need to be, made aware of the conditions, so that we better able to deal with our loved ones that are going through trauma, that are being depressed, that are being suicidal. It's the most difficult thing when the family, the close family, does not understand you. That even kills you more than people who stand outside the window trying to shoot you.
Mm. I still
Yes,
have the
you
lump.
had-
I can't breathe with what she just said right now. I just wanted to say thank you, Konkosi. In a way, I do believe
Mm,
that you are much better now. The fact that you shared
Mm,
so much with us today, we appreciate that. So that's a first step. Even
we
if
do.
you still had resentments or some other thoughts, we appreciate that today you decided to share your life story. It's not easy, I know. I cannot share that
Mm,
much in a short space of time, and we appreciate that.
right.
I wanted to say to Ausremi, society is not really lenient when it comes to mental health. One of our callers mentioned that we can read, we can try to read. It's trying, but mental health
Mm,
is
mm,
broad. What
mm.
is it that we
Absolutely.
can do to say, okay,
Mm,
if situations are like this is the first step, because we don't understand the psychotic episodes. We don't understand the depression on its own. So what is it as family members we need to do, especially if we are uneducated, or if we've got uneducated family members? Konkosi is staying with the grandmother, and I do believe that she is not well learned when it comes to the topic of mental health. What is it that we can do to educate our family members, even if we don't have anybody in the family who's going through mental health or mental illness today? But we know one way or the other there will be situations like this.
absolutely. I just like the experience of Concord, because she shared a lot, and what I think makes her strong and come out of this depression, or manage it even, is that she has got a very positive mind. She approaches this with a very positive mind, because a positive mind is going to allow you to have strength to be able to deal with this. So that is very important. The support that she gets from the family, it's also another important weapon or a tool that I can say she has. Yes, Ausfigile, it's very important that as families, we need to support our people. We need to support our families. We need to know what is it that is going on. How can we actually know what depression is, what mental health is as a broad term? Because a lot of things causes the overall mental health situation, whether it can be a negative state of your mental health or a positive state of your mental health, because mental health is also about the two. When you are having a positive state of mental health, you are able to function well, you are able to do, becomes a functional human being. You are able to go to work, wake up, go to work and be active in whatever you are doing. But when you're going through a mental health problem, or you're going through depression, or you're experiencing trauma, like I said, you're going to start seeing very strange human being that you are not used to. You're going to see the traits of this person withdrawing, this person not talking too much, always isolating himself, always, if he does share with you, he will tell you. Sometimes maybe he's hearing things, but generally it's the isolation, the withdrawal, not wanting, the other CCO who called and say, I don't want to be around people. I'm fine being by myself. You just feel like life is not good for you. Life is not okay for you. So those are the warning signs. If you pick them up, as I've said earlier on, try to intervene, try to pull the person, talk to her and say, how can I help you? I do realize there's something that is going on around you. You're depressed, you're going, the term depression itself, when something is depressing you, it's like pressing you, it's pressing your emotions are basically getting oppressed, depressed. You're not free, you're not a fully functional human being as you ought to be, because of all these things that are going around you and being caused by different problems. So as families, let's go out there, let's identify these little things that I've mentioned. Some of them are very hidden, you might not be able to see them even if you want to, because they can hide them, especially the ones that lead to suicide. You're going to discover later that actually, I saw this, but I didn't actually pick it up very well, because they hide them. But some of them you can be able to pinpoint and observe them, and make sure that you observe them while it's still early, so that you can actually do something about it. And like I said, if the person doesn't want to engage you, seek professional help on his behalf. Phone the social worker, phone the psychologist, and phone a psychiatrist. They all work more or less the same way, but slightly different.
Thank you. You've said a mouthful. But before we go, I know that music, it's the one that I don't like now. Thank you very much for the reminder. But I wanted to find out from Ausremi, do you have any websites that our viewers and listeners can go to? Because like we've said, sometimes it's difficult to come to a family member and share what you're going through, or things like that. Is there any website or any contact number that you've got to share with us that they can get assistance from?
Okay, currently I can just say I can give them a contact number where they can contact me for any assistance. And the number that I will give is 081 6872. That's where people can contact me directly. And then I'm also working in partnership with private clinics called Unjani clinics. They're based mostly in various areas in Kagiso, Cosmo, and Diepsloot. I'll give the number for Unjani in Kagiso. That is 076 678 2847. So if you are in the area of Kagiso and you want to see us, please contact that number. And then if you are in the area of Cosmo, 079 810 5147. And then as well, we are also working around the area of Diepsloot at the clinic there. The number is 061 434 9547. You can choose that, or you can still contact me directly, and we should be able to help you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. You mentioning people around Gauteng. If somebody is outside Gauteng, can they contact you and you will be able to refer them?
Yes, I definitely will be able to refer them. But remember as well, in the world we live in, Sispigile, we are able to also do work virtually. So whether you are in the Eastern Cape, you are in Durban, if we can provide that service to you virtually, like we are doing now, absolutely will be able to do that. But if the person wants us to refer him to a place closer to where he lives, definitely will be able to refer that
We
person.
appreciate that. Thank you very
Right.
much, Sis Khemi.
Thank you
Oh,
very
thank
much as well for inviting me. And I hope, all the information we shared will be able to help our listeners out there.
Thank you so much, Sis Hemi. Wow, this was very informative, and we'd like to thank the two that also commented. We've learned a lot from your experiences, and just seeing you share them, it's one
Mhm.
great step that you're taking, a positive step to show that you're on a healing journey. So if the more you share, the more you open up, and the more you are able to deal with what you're going through, and people around you get to understand your makeup currently that you're going through, and then they are better able to deal with you. I see Hilda would like to say something there.
Now, I want to thank all the speakers. I want to thank Kosiel for sharing the experience. And I also want to appreciate Lerato. We share the office together. And when she joined me in the office, I actually opened up and I told her my story. And she understands me very well. So I guess, Lerato, where you are now, you will understand me more. So at times when I get frustrated, the one who would say to me, calm down, please calm down.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Lerato, for
yes,
joining
thank
us.
you so much, everybody. I really, really enjoyed. Like I said, this topic is very close to my heart.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing, Hilda.
Thank you
We
very
really
much.
appreciate, and we want to confirm to you that we do love you. So you're never alone.
Yes,
As our topic, we will advertise
you
you
are
are
not
not
Mm,
alone.
alone.
You are
So
not alone.
whenever you need to
absolutely.
talk, I'm here for you. If you need referral to professionals, we have a
Mm,
detail. I've typed the contacts on the chat for Telegram there. You can always copy them and make contact with it. But we've run out of time, and we thank you so much for joining us. I wish we had a lot more time to continue this topic. Maybe we can do another take of this topic in the nearer future. Seeing that a lot of people are very interested in it because we are affected.
mm,
Like you said, Sis Khemi, all of us are going through certain levels of depression. We just
absolutely.
need to recognize what level we are on, and we just
Yes,
need to see how we can help each other, support each other when we're
mm,
going through that.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
thank you. And this is NMP Talk Show. We have it on Mondays at 6:30. The recording of this show will also be on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is Get Informed 2 with it's TOO, Get Informed 2, and we also be broadcasting on Spotify. We also have Apple Podcast that will also be sharing this. So thank you so much for joining, and we hope you have a good night's sleep after this conversation. Your hearts are warmed, you settled nicely, you're able to open up, and look forward to a brand new day tomorrow. Today has finished. Tomorrow there are new possibilities, so enjoy them
Thank you.
as we sign out.
Good night.
Thank you.
Nini internet, Nini Facebook.
This one is for